Yo! Welcome back to another edition of the Cruising Podcast. I am your host, Andrew Cruz, and today is Monday. We got to get down on Monday. No, we can't get down on Monday? Whatever. But, oh yeah. All right, so welcome to another edition of the Cruising Podcast. I'm your host, Andrew Cruz, and where you can find the Cruising Podcast is on Spotify, also on Apple Podcasts, also anywhere you can find podcast news. That's where you can find the Cruising Podcast. Where you want to find the updates of the show is on Instagram at Cruising Podcast, also at Nicetown Finest, which on Twitter is on Twitter. Yeah. And also anchor.fm/Cruising Podcast. That's where mostly all of them are going because it's been a better. I do have to say, Anchor has been a way better way to distribute out my podcast, distribute out all the shows. It goes everywhere, which is very cool, and it's free. So I'm not going to argue with free. So today, what are we talking about? What are we talking about? I want to say this. I know everybody's kind of like down and out about the whole, what's the name of this thing, the pandemic and everything. And sports has been an okay outlet. I understand some people are like, well, because of the social justice stand that the NBA has made, a lot of people are turned off by the NBA. No, that's not the whole truth. Maybe the social justice, the social justice stand is attributing to the low ratings for the NBA, but you have to understand one thing, and one thing only, is that basketball normally doesn't start until the end of October. Y'all do understand this part. This is probably why the ratings are down, because right now what's supposed to be going on is MLB playoffs, which are about to start on Tuesday. Also, the football, it's normally around week 6 or 7 of the NFL, and normally the NBA ratings are down. You got to think about it. Most of the NBA season has now been played during football season. America loves football. America also loves baseball. Even though basketball is probably probably the second biggest sport in America, playoff baseball is second to none. And normally we're at a point where we're just starting the basketball season, and then there's not really any other focus during, end of February to June, except for maybe hockey and maybe the start of baseball. You have to understand, basketball is normally king during the wintertime and also spring, especially after the Super Bowl's over and all the rest of that cool stuff. That's what people are not really understanding. Me as a basketball fan, I'm very turned off by watching it. I don't know why. I feel like it's like rec. I'm watching rec games, and I understand what they did. It did a very good job at pumping in the crowd noise, giving us something that we needed, especially in August when we didn't have preseason football, which the NFL doesn't. I don't think that this is a great example of why preseason is important for the NFL. By the way, for the health of their players. How many more players went down this week? More players went down with another torn ACL. I'm not going to explain why, but more players have went down this way. And it's not surprising to me that, the ligaments are snapping and all the rest of that stuff, because your body ain't used to it yet. You got to get warm to that type stuff. So we're at a point now where the NBA playoffs are now in the finals, and it wasn't even big fucking news. It's crazy, right? It wasn't big news that the NBA was that we're in the finals and no one cared. I'm not surprised by this. LeBron James is back in the finals with the Lakers, by the way, with the Lakers, and they're playing against the Miami Heat. Great job, Sixers, by the way, for letting go of Jimmy Butler. But we're at a point right now where nobody actually cares about basketball, about the NBA. We're going to be real about it. We got to be real with each other about it, you know. And we're at this point now because the NFL is going on in full swing. It does feel weird to have it with no crowd. It does feel weird that nobody's kind of there, but you know, it's a weird time anyway. But the NBA definitely has to get back to playing around October and shit. I know they're going to go to if they're smart, and Adam Silver has been proven to be a smart man. If the NBA is smart, they will play, you know, at least a day or two before Christmas Day and then they'll have the Christmas Day games because that's their ratings getter right there. It's the Christmas Day games. Now, how many coaches got fired or have parted ways with their teams? There's a lot of teams that need coaches right now. There's a lot of teams that have also, you know, like they're in the middle of the pack. They don't know what they're going to do, but we have to get rid of their coach. Doc Rivers is the biggest name right now on the free agent coaching market. Remember, Doc Rivers was traded from Boston to go to the Clippers with a Chris Paul, Blake Griffin, and DeAndre Jordan. That's how good that team was with Doc Rivers. Now, did they ever achieve what they were supposed to achieve? Fuck no, they didn't. But he was actually he's actually a very good coach. That's the most winning we've seen from the LA Clippers ever. You know, it's not his fault that Paul George did not show up in the playoffs. He only showed up for like 2 or 3 games. Like that's not his fault. It's not his fault that his 2 best players played shittily in a do or die game. Played shittily in a do or die. They both choked. Kawhi Leonard and Paul George both choked. That's not his fault. But you know, he can come to the Sixers if he wants. That'd be great. I'll be definitely a fan of that. Or I keep seeing the Pelicans too are looking at him. I mean that's a nice little nucleus they got there too with people are sleeping, but Lonzo Ball is actually going to pair very well with Zion Williamson because Lonzo doesn't need to shoot. Lonzo's more of a facilitator anyway, and he's like, "Fuck it, I got this big ass dude that can catch alley-oops with ease." Yeah, okay. So, and also, what's being very slept on is that Lonzo is actually a very good defender. And also the Sixers have reached out and tried to talk to Doc Rivers. But there is another coach that is rumored. There's just a rumor. It's not it's not one of those credible sources type rumors. I'm just hearing it from through the grapevine. But it sounded like Brad Stevens in Boston might have a little bit of a parting of ways too. Now, normally where there's smoke, there's fire. Nobody talked about Doc Rivers being, really, nobody talked about Doc Rivers getting fired at all throughout this whole entire offseason until it happened, So the Brad Stevens thing, has the team underachieved? Possibly, but you got to understand that Boston, like he has done more with less than any other coach in the NBA. He doesn't have star power play, like top 5 talent. Jason Tatum has one more year to be that talent. He's shown those glimpses of being that talent, but you got to understand, it's just him. And Jaylen Brown is a good player. He's a great complimentary player. Kemba Walker, very good player, very good point guard. But Jason Tatum is going to be the reason why that team moves forward instead of backwards. And Brad is one of the best coaches tactically in the NBA right now. You can think I'm lying. You can say what you want, but that's the truth. He is one of the best tactically. He knows how to take your best player away. But the Heat, people are surprised by the Heat, and I'm very surprised by the Heat. I ain't gonna lie. I was pissed that Jimmy Butler said, I want to go to Miami. Yo, we wanted you in Philly. I don't know if you understand. We knew you weren't the problem. We understood you weren't the problem. I'm just letting you know, I was pissed when they let go of Jimmy Butler. I didn't want to let go of Jimmy Butler. Now, did I say Josh Richardson was a good complimentary player to come, without, what was great about Philly getting rid of Jimmy Butler was that they traded him for another player and for somebody really to like play his role. But you can't replace what Jimmy Butler has. I don't know what it is. It's grit. It's his heart. It is also his skill, but that dude doesn't give a fuck in certain situations. He's just, all right, I'm here to play. Let's ball. That's what he's about. He's about balling. And the reason why it didn't fit with him and the Sixers is probably because there's a lot of bitch assness on that team. And the only reason why why he left is because Brett Brown said he didn't want to coach him. And Brett Brown need to fucking go. Brett Brown should have been gone. How do you get out coached on the biggest stage almost every single year? Like, you win the first round, barely sometimes, but then we go to the second round and you meet up with Brad Stevens or Nick Nurse and you get out coached. Now, if Kawhi Leonard didn't make that shot, would the Sixers won that game 7? Probably with the momentum. There's a lot of momentum for the Sixers to play that game against. I mean, there was a lot of momentum going into that game against the Toronto Raptors. By the way, that Toronto Raptors team won the finals. Now, people are saying, was Brett Brown the problem? In my opinion, yes. But also, Joel Embiid not being in shape. Also, Ben Simmons never deciding to shoot the basketball, which is fucking annoying as hell. It's a mixture of a lot of things, and them continuously switching the core of this team it's not good. There's no chemistry. It's hard to build chemistry when the core continues to change, and also shitty drafting. But that's where we're at. That's where the Sixers are at. You know, I know I'm talking about the Sixers like, listen, I'm a Sixers fan. I'm a Philadelphia fan. Everybody can eat a dick. In the Eagles, I'm not even going to talk about the fucking Eagles. I'm done talking about that team until something has to be done, aka getting number 1 fucking wide receiver. But yeah, that's pretty much where we're at right now. The NBA's I think the NBA, I know the ratings are going down. I know some people are trying to say the social justice shit. I truly think the people that continuously say they're not watching because of social justice shit, bullshit, first of all. Also, shut the fuck up. Also, closetly, you're fucking probably racist. You probably believe that most black people are criminals. That's just what I'm saying. Hey, that's your life. I don't give a fuck. You know, that's your life. If you decide you want to say some dumb shit like that, that's your decision. You're an idiot. Nobody gives a fuck. All right. So also we also have some big news coming from the comic book session of life. And the CW has decided to cancel Supergirl after 6 seasons. Shit should have been canceled, in my opinion. But hey, I don't ask questions. I just give answers. No, listen. I think slowly these CW shows, the CW DC universe, whatever the fuck they calling it out, with the CW verse, which is stupid, by the way. I liked Arrowverse. That made sense. Arrow started everything. Arrow was the reason why Arrowverse is over. But now we're at a point where I think that most of the shows that we used to watch on CW are getting very old. The 20 to 25 episode arcs, 25 episode seasons of shows are going to be dead and gone very soon. That model doesn't work for anybody anymore. I know some people are, you got to think about it. Game of Thrones, I think the highest episode count they had was maybe 10 to 13. Walking Dead, their highest episode counts are normally about 15. That 20 range, people don't have the attention span to watch something that long. So I think that model is going away very soon. I think it's going to end whenever all the CW shows end. And we're down to 3. Down to 4. We're down to 4. One just practically starting over again, which is crazy. We have a black Batwoman who they just made. They just said, fuck it, we're going to make a new hero anyway. Fuck it. And I'm very excited to see that, actually. I liked Ruby Rose as Batwoman, though. I think she was a very good very good. Fuck, man. Cassidy Kane. Fuck, I'm fucking up names right now. I'm so tired. But as everybody doesn't know, I mean, most people don't know that Supergirl did start on CBS, and I was like, why the fuck would you have Supergirl on CBS? It doesn't make sense to have her on CBS when you have a whole Arrowverse over here already. You got Flash, you got Arrow, you got Legends of Tomorrow, you got now Black Lightning. Finally, it brought Black Lightning into the mix. We're at a point now where what the CW did a fantastic job in bringing in everyone together. They did a great job in with the whole Crisis event. Everybody now is on one Earth. Everybody's all in one universe. But how are you going to get rid of Supergirl when she's still on the same Earth as Barry Allen, aka the Flash, Black Lightning, Legends of Tomorrow, and also Batwoman? How are you going to change? How if you're going to cancel this show, how are you going to work that to where, well, Supergirl's not here. How can you do it? It's going to be tough. I know they're doing the Lois, the Superman and the new one with Superman in it. I think that dude's a horrible Superman, by the way. I think the best Superman of all time that it wasn't even Superman was Tom Welling. And then we have Henry Cavill. I think Henry Cavill straight up was the best Superman, but Tom Welling, let's be real, was probably the best. Clark Kent. Goodness gracious, he was the best Clark Kent. I truly, that you can't argue with me on that. If you got a problem with it, you can come see me about it, homie. But I think Smallville did a fantastic job in creating characters like Clark Kent, also with Lex Luthor. That was Michael Rosenbaum, like I will always say, is the greatest Lex Luthor of all time. And CW knows how to capture DC comic books through TV, but the 20 episode model was done. I think it's done after the rest of these shows get canceled or just run its course. Especially Flash. Flash might have to just run its course. I think we're at that point. We're gonna have a Flashpoint movie with Michael Keaton and Ben Affleck and Ezra Miller. We're gonna have practically a Flashpoint movie where they're gonna reset everything from Justice League. And what I heard is that movie is practically gonna be they're saying it's a Flash movie, but it's gonna be like Captain America: Civil War, where all of the Avengers were in the movie, but it was a Captain America movie. So. But that's who's going to be the center point is Captain America. But the center point of this is going to be the Flash. It's going to be Flash. I think that we're at a point now where the DCEU needs a revamp. First of all, secondly, I think that we're going to see more rated R comic book movies. To me, you can do the whole PG-13 with Marvel. Marvel doesn't have that. Marvel has a few of the storylines where it can go a little bit R-rated, Deadpool and some of X-Men. But to capture what DC has, you have to take the reins off. You have to take that umbrella of PG-13 off. I know you want to get the best quality. I know you want to get the biggest audience out there. That's what Marvel was able to do. But Warner Brothers and DC went a little bit too fast in trying to bring. They had a team up movie before you even had a solo Batman movie, before you had a solo Wonder Woman movie, before you had a solo Aquaman movie. The only movie that had their standalone fucking shit was Superman, and that's Man of Steel. And Henry Cavill coming back as Superman, it was definitely a big plus. I think Ben Affleck. I hope we get a more fleshed out Batman of his. I'm hearing that he signed on to have his own standalone movie, which that's too many fucking Batmans, dude. That's way too many Batmans. I'm sorry. I love Batman. That's my favorite superhero of all time. Even though some of you don't think he's a superhero, but some of you can also eat a dick. But Batman doesn't need to have 15 different Bruce Waynes. We don't need that. We didn't need it. We don't need it. We got Robert Pattinson playing one. I think he's going to me, that one needs to be rated R. In my opinion, if you're going to capture the Riddler was a fucking serial killer. You have to make it rated R for this movie to work. Joker had to be rated R. Joker is a psychotic, he's a psychotic sociopath. And that's the only way you can capture him. And so, in my opinion, that movie needed to be rated R. Deadpool needed to be rated R. Deadpool's like horrible. But to me, Batman has to be, if you're going to do a very, very dark Batman, like Long Halloween type dark Batman, it has to be rated R. You have to take off that out. You have to take off those restraints. You got to let them go. I'm not saying drop F-bombs everywhere, but I'm also not saying, let off a curse word here, let off a curse word there, or let off, fucking some gory shit here, or you got to show somebody get killed here. Like, you have to understand that he was dealing with nothing but mental patients that were murderers, that were psychotic, and that were fucking sociopaths. All of them. Even Harvey Dent, who was a district attorney before he, got dropped in Nevada acid and became Two-Face. You have to understand that in the DC, for the DC universe to succeed, they have to have rated R movies mixed in with these PG-13 bullshits. Like Wonder Woman, you can get away with that. Aquaman, you can get away with that. Flash, you can kind of get away with Flash if you don't bring Reverse Flash into it yet. Because Reverse Flash does some of the most fucked up shit in comic book history. Reverse Flash does some fucked up shit. You have to understand, if you read comics and you've seen the Reverse Flash, that's some real horrible shit. Like, I think he doesn't. I think he does something to the Flash's wife and murders their baby or some shit. Like, he does some weird shit. You have to. There's some aspects of it that has to be rated R. So I'm excited to see where we go from here. I'm sure they're going to try to do the PG-13 route. I don't think it's going to work. It doesn't work for DC. DC's not lighthearted. Like, you have your lighthearted ones, but they're not always lighthearted. They're not. There's some dark fucking periods in DC universe. I'm telling you, there are some dark fucking periods. So I definitely hope that we get something that everyone can enjoy, but at the same time, I'm worried. And the CW verse, I'm worried about this. I've been worried about the CW verse, but the ending of Supergirl is definitely going to be. I think they're going to end Supergirl. I think that's going to be the first canceled one. I think Flash gets canceled next year. I truly think so. I think Flash gets canceled next year. Legends of Tomorrow also gets canceled at some point next year too. I think they both get canceled in the same year. I think they're waiting on Supergirl. I think Supergirl was the first one that was the first ball and needed to drop. And then we're going to have Flash go after that. And then, Legends Tomorrow. But they have to replace those shows with something else. Like the Superman and Lois show, which I think is going to be really fucking bad. I think that show's it's a bad concept. We already seen this concept before with who? Dean fucking Cain and Lois and Clark. Oh, shit. Oh, well, we forgot. I used to watch that show when I woke up in the morning some days. Like, some days that show would be on TBS, on TNT. The Turner, yeah. So on TBS, Lois and Clark used to play all the time, in the morning. And, I was used to seeing Dean Cain on as Superman. So I didn't know how bad it was compared to like Smallville. It is comparing apples to oranges, but Smallville is way better than Lois and Clark. And so yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at. I think the CW verse, the stupid ass shit, the CW verse is it's on its way out. I think this is where it's about. We're at that time. We got Black Lightning, and I think Black Lightning's on his way out too. I think they're going to give that maybe like 2 or 3 more years. I think all the CW shows are going to go to like HBO Max. We're going to have a lot more HBO Max stuff like Titans and Doom Patrol, which those shows, like I said, when I say rated R content, that's what I mean. If you watch Titans, if you watch Doom Patrol, you'd be like, all right, yeah, this is how it should work. The Titans is a dark comic. The Doom Patrol is quirky, weird, and also dark. You know, most of DC is like this. Now, where they also have succeeded is having Harley Quinn as a cartoon. That works. You know, it's a rated R cartoon. That's amazing. So, I hope that everybody, you know, I like to say a salute, you know, the Supergirl class. I've never really watched the show. I'm not going to lie to you, but whenever they do the crossovers, it seems like a really good cast. I just don't like Superman, and I don't like his fucking cousin. Sorry. That's just the way I am. That's who I am. And that, you know, as a Batman fan, I know I'm kind of hurting myself into, like, you know, walking, you know, being that guy to not watch the show. But I've heard great things about it. I've seen some of the episodes. They were pretty good. Not something to write home to, though, but, you know, no. It's no fucking it's no early days Arrow, which Batwoman seemed like it was going towards. It seemed like early day Arrow, Batwoman was. And if you watch the first couple seasons of Arrow, you would see why that show started everything. It was amazing. It was a great show. And Stephen Amell showed his talent with that one. And so, yeah. So I would like to say rest in peace to the Arrowverse, and welcome to the they could have made it so much a better fucking name somewhere. Maybe Flashverse or something, like something better than that bullshit. Okay, we're not gonna get into the names, but okay. So I got one more thing, and then I'm gonna roll out of here. But I guess we're going to go straight to Disney Plus right now. I have a question. You promised all these original series. Now, I know COVID-19 kind of put a wrench in all of our plans, a lot of our plans. But how are you not ready with more original content than the fuck you have on Disney Plus right now? You can sell us, hold on, you can sell us on old school shit for only a limited amount of time. Nostalgia is nostalgia for a fucking reason. It's supposed to be only here for a limited time, and then new shit's supposed to come out. And where I'm at with it is that the only original content that we have on Disney Plus right now, the only like top tier original content right now is The Mandalorian. None of the Marvel series. We're waiting on WandaVision, which actually looks fantastic. The trailer to it looked amazing. I can't wait for it, but I'm waiting for it. We got that. We got Falcon and Winter Soldier. We got Hawkeye. We got, you know, the fuck, man. It's the cartoon one. Oh my god. I'll remember later. And it's going to piss me off when I do remember it. But we got that, you know, where they switch up the history, like say Cap becomes Hydra or something like that. Or what's her name? Oh fuck, man. Agent Carter becomes Captain Britain or something like that. Is that what she's like? That's supposed to be one of them. When are we going to get these shows? When? Like, it's been forever. And like, I want to and the Marvel pushed back all its dates to next year, like mid next year is the first movie that comes out, and we haven't gotten a trailer to Eternals. We haven't gotten a trailer to. We gotten multiple trailers to Black Widow. We've gotten, you know, it's just and Shang-Chi. We haven't gotten not one trailer to Shang-Chi yet. So, which was smart because you're giving us promise to something that's not coming out until very late next year, almost next year. You know, and so I'm just asking Disney Plus, when are we going to get some more original content? I just need some more. I like Mandalorian is cool and all. I love the show. It was a great show. I loved how like every episode was really its own fucking story, except for the last two, of course. But when are we going to get? When are we going to get some new content? Like, I know everybody was all like hyped about the Beyonce Black is King, and I hope the Beehive does come after me. I don't give a fuck. I didn't watch it. I won't. I refuse. I refuse to watch it. Y'all won't get my money out of that. But you know, you open the vault, which is cool. but then you also close it at halftime. What I like about HBO Max is it's using HBO's star power to bring out more original series. The HBO Max has more original series right now. HBO Max as its own standalone thing has its own has what I'm trying to say. It has a lot more original series. How does it got more original series than Disney Plus when Disney Plus has been out for over a year now and fucking HBO Max has only been out for like 6 months? That doesn't make sense. Not even 6 months. It's been about what, 4 or 5 months? Yeah, about 4 or 5 months. That's a problem to me. I have a problem with that because I understand I'm paying way less for Disney Plus, but we need to start seeing some original series, or you're going to start losing people if you haven't already. You lost people right as soon as Mandalorian was over. Like, a lot of people dropped off from it. And you gotta understand that, especially when people are sitting at home, you should definitely maybe have some shit ready to rock. That's where HBO Max did a great job and where Disney Plus has not. And I know they were still kind of filming some of the shows, but you had like a year to like get this shit done. You told us about this. We already knew about all the shows, so why weren't they ready to go? I don't know, man. I feel like I'm spending money on something that, like, I'm only spending it for one show. I'm only spending it for nostalgia. Like, I can do that with it. People can go get Turner Classic Movies if they really wanted to, but I'm really hoping that we get some more information. I know WandaVision is supposed to come out sometime at the end of this year. I definitely want to see Falcon and Winter Soldier. That's the one I really want to see. What was it? The Marvels. I think it was a Marvels. I forgot what it was. I'm gonna check it real quick. Marvels cartoon. Hold on, because I'm trying to remember right now and I can't. Fuck, man, I don't know why I can't remember. But we also been told. Oh yeah. Also, there was some news that came out too as I'm trying to figure this out. We also found out that plus Marvel. What if? Oh, that's what it is. The What If series. What if this happened? That's what it was. So what if shit happened? Let me see. Do we got anything for it? Okay, whatever. So we also been told that there's a Nick Fury original show coming out, supposed to be coming out, and we still don't even have and Samuel L. Jackson is supposed to be coming back as Nicholas Fury. So we got all this information, we got all this news about all these shows, but we don't have any shows out. What's going on? That's all I ask. That's all. I just want to know what are people supposed to be spending their money on? Yeah, What If series. Yeah, I can't. I'm. That's actually the one I want to see myself, is the What If series. But I also definitely want to see the Falcon and Winter Soldier. I want to see Falcon as new Captain America. I'm very excited to see that. So that's practically where I'm at with Disney Plus right now. And also the Kim's. I was told, and I hope I wasn't lied to, that Kim's Convenience comes back October 1st, and I am very excited about this show. Y'all know I love Kim's Convenience. I had a whole episode dedicated to the Kim's Convenience love that I have for it, so I'm very excited about this weekend. I hope I don't binge it like I did last time, but we get 2 Kim's Convenience in one motherfucking year. What? Canada is the shit. Boop, boop, boop. Nope, let me stop. Okay, but seriously though, man, I need more content on Disney Plus. I need it. I really do. And YouTube TV, I don't know what happened to YouTube, man. I think that shit just like as soon as they lost Cobra Kai, I really lost interest in anything YouTube has had. So with that, I want to say thank you guys so much for listening to the Cruising Podcast. I am your host, Andrew Cruz, and where you can find new episodes of the Cruising Podcast is on Apple Podcasts, also on Spotify, and anywhere you can find your podcast needs. That's where you can find the Cruising Podcast. Also, latest updates of the Cruising Podcast is at Cruising Podcast on Instagram and at Nicetown Finest on Twitter. If you want to watch some video game action, some shit talking, some greatness happening in front of your motherfucking face, you can go to Twitch at Nicetown_Finest 27. Also, oh yeah, YouTube too. Fuck, man, I'll keep forgetting YouTube. Yeah, the video version of the podcast is on YouTube. With that, I want to say, man, I want to thank everyone for listening. I know I just figured out that the show has been on a new RSS feed, so I'm having to send that out. So if you guys do get a chance, please, please, please leave a like or subscribe, and also please leave a review and ratings and reviews. Please help your boy out. That's all I'm asking. I'm asking you guys to help out. But I'm hoping Wednesday I can do something. I know I've been saying Wednesdays. My problem is last Wednesday I got in from work at like 12 o'clock, and I had a very quick turnaround to get to work. So that's no excuse. I gotta do better. I will do better. I will be better for you guys. And definitely gonna be watching a lot more anime this week. And video game action. There's gonna be a lot of video game shit coming down the pipeline very soon. So with that, I want to say thank you guys so much for listening. Don't do anything I wouldn't do, and I'll catch you guys hopefully Wednesday. Hopefully Wednesday. So with that, thank you guys so much. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. Catch you guys later. Deuces.